Howdy, howdy, folks. Welcome to another edition of Sticks and Stones. Nope, I do not need picture-in-picture. I am going to attempt to follow myself on X today instead of YouTube. We're going to see what we can make work out there. Anyway, I think you're going to enjoy this pairing today. No, I'm going to enjoy bringing it to you. There's from a couple weeks ago. I am pairing a spirit that I have not had before with a. Hey, there I am, right there. All right. Sorry, I'm here talking. I don't even have the microphone set up. I mean, it's turned on, but you know, I had to check that too because you never know. Yeah, we're just gonna put this down here. Okay, I am pairing now. This is a stick that I think everybody should know. A Padrón anniversary 1964 series, and this is the Maduro, the darker of the two, and I am pairing that with Old Grandad 114. That is a high proof. I know there are some that are higher, but that is close to the highest I've had. I know I've had some in the upper teens, like 118 or so, 117.6, something like that. And I think I have actually had a sample of maybe one of the Bookers, somewhere around 128. And that made the tip of my tongue go numb just with one sip. Yeah, don't dive into that into the pool unless you are ready to run with the big boys. So anyway, let me know if things aren't sounding right, if you know can't hear nothing. All right, well, I can hear myself. I'll turn that back down. So, all right, well, let's go ahead and get started. I think you're going to find that this is a rather bold and full-bodied pairing today. It is really specifically for the seasoned palates. You don't want to be a newbie and jump into this one. And if you are not a seasoned, experienced indulger, you better have your water wings on. I know it's pool season, so everything's got to have to do with the water. I think there's going to be a really great complexity, spiciness, maybe even a bit of fire. We may have to put some fires out along the way. But I think these are really going to complement each other. We'll start off with the Old Grandad. Pull that up again. Now, Old Grandad is relatively inexpensive. I want to say I picked this bottle up for somewhere around 30 bucks. But I read all kinds of great stuff about it. I've had people actually say, I prefer this over, and to be one of the high dollar spirits. So we're going to try it. Now, this is a Kentucky straight bourbon. It is distilled by Beam Suntory, specifically Jim Beam. The mash bill is 63% corn, 27% rye, 10% malted barley. It is 114 proof, which is 57% alcohol by volume. It's hefty. Now, while it is a non-age statement, it has to be aged at least 4 years for the TTB regulations. So now let's go ahead and glass some up. Oh, they got me right there. I love nice cork pops. I'm gonna be easy today because that's 114 proof. So we're just gonna put a little in the glass. Now, visually, I mean, how much more beautiful does it get than that? I mean, that is just a great mahogany, deep copper, kind of orangey reddish color to it. It is about as good as you can get. And it has really great legs. It's really hanging in the glass well. On the nose, oddly enough, at 114 proof, there is no alcohol burn in the nose at all. None. There's a lot going on here, I can tell you that. You get, first off, you get caramel and maybe a touch of cinnamon. That's kind of really up front. And then it's followed up by a corn sweetness, which comes from that 63% corn. Bourbon has to be 51% by law. 63% is fairly high, although I've seen it up in the 70s. I want to say Maker's Mark, but I could be wrong about that. Anyway, we got as far as corn sweetness. There's some light touches of like a seasoned oak and just a little bit of black pepper for some spice. But at the end of it, you also have kind of married in there together is the kind of the aroma of like golden or yellow apples, whatever they call those, because that's my favorite apple. I prefer those over the red ones or the green ones. And this is not really a tart apple. It's a little milder. So I would tend to associate that more with kind of the golden apples or yellow apples, whatever they call them. Oh yeah. That's just got a great aroma to it. I'm actually very surprised. Now, on the palate. That's 114 proof, folks. Yeah, it is. Now, this high-rye Mashbill. All right. Rye lends spice to a spirit. Where corn is sweet, wheat has got a little bit of sweetness to it, but rye brings spice. And when you've got, I think it's 27% rye, that's a lot. Yeah. It has got a really bold spice to it. And you get, first thing is like cinnamon red hots, the old cinnamon candy, the little bitty red hots. That's what you get first. Damn fly. I guess he's wanting some. I guess I could lay out a little bit of the 114 here and he'd just pass out. But after you get past the bold rye spice and the kind of cinnamon red hots, then you get into some caramely sweetness. There's just a touch of like orange zest in there and some vanilla, and then just a hint of char. Not a lot, just a little, just enough. The texture is a little oily, not like motor fuel, like oily, just a little bit oily. And it does bring a lot of warmth and a, it does bring a significant amount of warmth that is sharp, but manageable in as far as the burn. Because it does have a little bit of burn to it. I will tell you that. The finish is pretty long, still tasting it. It's peppery. There's a nice lingering vanilla and then just some hints of toasted oak. So, hey, what I paid for this what I paid for this bottle, yeah, you're getting a whole lot of complexity. I mean, you would definitely expect to find this kind of complexity in a much more expensive spirit. But again, unless you are an experienced connoisseur, don't go jumping in because it's up there. It's really good, but it's got some burn to it. This damn fly. Hate that. All right. Anyway, Oh, before we get to the cigar, you can hear the latest addition to the family in there. We have a new puppy. He was 12 weeks old. We've had him about 2 weeks, so he's 14 weeks old. We did the little DNA thing on him. We were positive that his mother was a yellow lab. No, there's absolutely no Labrador in this dog at all. He's 50% golden retriever. Short hair though, not long hair. The next highest percentage, I can't remember what exactly the percentage was, but the next highest one was poodle. So the DNA thing said that the mother was more than likely a golden doodle. And the puppies were probably I won't say purebred, but a breeding golden doodle, because that's big money now. And she got knocked up by a street dog, and so they just dumped the puppies. It was down in South Texas. We don't really know a whole lot about the story, but anyway. But then he was, let's see, he was a poodle, cocker spaniel, boxer, German shepherd, and they don't know. He is really sweet though. He's a snuggler. Our 95-pound Shetland pony of a lab, she is not much of a snuggler. She'll get up close to you and you can pet on her and stuff. She's not going to lay in your lap. She's not going. She's not. I mean, she loves you. She's just not a snuggler. It's just not her. She gets hot really easy. But he is. So it's a really good yin and yang kind of going on there. All right, back over to this. All right, the Padrón 1964 anniversary edition. This is manufactured in Nicaragua at the Tabacos Cubanica S.A. It is a Nicaraguan Puro. All the filler, the binder, the wrapper, all from Nicaragua. This is a Robusto / Bellicoso kind of thing. It's 5 by 52 on the ring gauge, but it looks like it may be a little more than 5. But I'm a guy. We can't measure things like that. So anyway, now visually, it is a beautiful stick. It's just a nice chocolate brown. It's a minimal to medium veining. There's quite a few veins on it. They're not really pronounced. It is visible. The seams are tight but visible. And it looks like it just has a single cap. That's really weird, but you can hold it up there all the way around. That does not look like a double. There is no double cap on there for me. So anyway, on the nose, I think one of the first things I get is a little bit of like fresh earth, but it is somewhat muted. And then you get some notes of chocolate, and then like some, I know this is not a berry, but like berries, like cherries or blackberries. There is a butteriness to it. And just the very hint of spicy notes. So let's test the cold draw out. Doing good. Man, I'm already about to light the cigar, and we ain't at 15 minutes yet. Another excellent V-cut there. I know I saw something the other day about what's your favorite cigar cut, and there were people on there about guillotine is the only way to go. You're not cutting a cigar right if you're not using a guillotine. No, it's personal preference, as with most anything with the cigar. It's just like I can smoke this cigar. You can smoke this cigar. We come up with things that are totally different. That's just the way it is. So I keep trying to look up instead of, trying to watch what's on the screen. So anyway, on the cold draw. Hey, for the roughly a dozen and a half of you that are watching, be sure to give me a heart or leave me a comment, something like that. Now back to the show. The cold draw is not complex. There's not a lot to it. I get some cedar, maybe kind of a wet cedar, and some leather, and then maybe just a very light hint of spice, black pepper. Not a lot, just a little. So let's go ahead and fire this up. Oh, by the way, the dog's name, we didn't rename him. His name was Destin, like Florida, which goes for us because, I'm definitely a beach bum. That looks pretty good. You get some really rich notes of cocoa, and also a little bit of espresso. I had Dunkin' Donuts iced latte this morning, a little espresso. I like that. There's some dried fruits in there and a little bit of earth. There is kind of a deep, like natural sweetness, not like a sugary caramel, molasses, anything like that. Just kind of a natural sweetness, but like fruit sweet, that kind of thing. And also just some light notes of pepper and kind of an aged tobacco kind of thing. So good smoke production as well. And this cigar is not quite like the Spirit in that while it is a full-bodied cigar, it's not, overly harsh or anything like that. Even if you're somewhat experienced, you'd be all right with a cigar. Spirit, yeah, you need to be an experienced hand. All right, let's try them together. Daddy likes. Oh, look at that. Looks like a scary movie, doesn't it? Isn't that wonderful? Oh, doesn't mean anything for those of you that don't watch on a regular basis. I'd love to do that. Number one, simply because I keep the smoke in my mouth until just at the point where I'm getting the sip to my lips. And so I'm getting the best mixture of flavors. Also, you just got to admit, that just looks cool, right? So there you go. That's the two reasons. So, but in the initial impact here, the bourbon's rye spice and that high proof bring an immediate hit or immediate heat, but then that's kind of softened by the Maduro wrapper's kind of natural sweetness and that kind of creamy or buttery kind of texture. The first puff meets that first sip with just boldness. They just both come together and they quickly find a good harmony. So I'll lean back. I hope you could hear me. On the retrohale, it comes expel out the nose. There's spice in there like a black pepper spice. There's also like a lemon zest in there. It's kind of a tartness. So still there. Those really do go good together. Yeah. Wow. All right, we're going to puff away on this one. Back to the dog. Dog's name. Destin, like in Florida. So we didn't change it. Actually had a condo in Fort Walton, which is right next door to Destin. Now I have one in Panama City. And we're trying to get rid of that one and buy one somewhere else now. But anyway, Destin. So we call him Desi. He's also known as the burglar because he is known to steal your socks. And Sadie's, he has stolen treats right out of her mouth. Yeah. And then, all right, the first day we had him, he pottied in the floor 5 times. And so I nicknamed him Puddles. That's what I call him most of the time. But now we've had him 2 weeks, and he had one accident this last week that was like totally my fault. I was at my desk, and he rattled the potty bells. We're training him on the potty bells before we give him his collar to go in and out himself. He rang the potty bells, and I'm like, yeah, I'll be there in just a second. Well, like 30 or 45 seconds go by. I don't get up. And then he barks. And so I'm like, all right, well, I'm coming. By the time I get into the kitchen, he's pottied there by the door. That was my fault. He told me twice. I didn't get over there fast enough. So I didn't I told him, no. But I didn't punish him or anything. So that way he knows it's wrong. But it's my fault. So, and he doesn't understand my fault. So I just, but anyway, he is a very cute dog. He is all legs and feet, which is probably the boxer. And we had him in the pool day before yesterday, and he will be a swimmer. Yeah, he's pretty comfortable with it. Now, Sadie he's fallen in a few times by himself. He'll be chasing her around the pool. Of course, she's an old hand at the pool. She loves it. And he's a little clumsy, so he's fallen in a couple of times. There've been a couple of times I think she's bumped him in. So she's a smart dog. And we've almost got her trained in 2.5 weeks. Really, we've only been working on it maybe 4 or 5 days because she has her collar. She goes in and out. It's her big girl collar. She goes in and out the automatic door. But he would go out with her, and then she would come back in, and he'd still be out there with no way to get in unless we went and let him in. So we've been training her, and she's getting good at it. Go let Desi in, and she'll go back to the door and let the door come up and let him come in. Smart dog. She probably would have been a really good retriever if I still duck hunted, but there's not a lot of duck hunting in North Texas. And I'm getting old. Don't like the cold nearly as much. The old granddad does have this kind of oily texture that just kind of coats your tongue, not in a bad way, in a good way. And it does allow that flavor to continue to hang on, still going. What was that? The Energizer, and going. It's just now kind of starting to fade away. I'm going to touch this up again. It's got a pretty good hump on one side. I wasn't really sure about how well I lit it. So I'm just touching it to the flame a little bit, kind of straighten it up because I expect it to be. I see these people say, "Oh, it's got a razor straight burn line." I'm like, it's natural. How can it be like razor straight? I think that's kind of subjective. But Padrón, one of the most recognized names in cigar making globally. And they do produce some of the best. I bought this single. Their singles will cost you $20, $30 for a single stick. As much as I dislike paying that for one cigar, I can't afford $450 for a box. No. And I wouldn't want on a regular basis burn $20 or 30. You know, I uh, I would much rather burn a cigar that I got for $5 as one that I got for $30 on a regular basis. You know, so uh, I've got, one stick that I have really been touting here lately is the Macanudo orange label. I really love that stick so much that I bought 2 boxes, and I managed to get them very inexpensively. There are ways, but I don't share my ways because then somebody else will be there doing it too. Most of the cigars that I have on the show are ones that I buy in a 5-pack. You do a 5-pack, that gives you a test smoke plus one for the show. And if you're kind of not really sure, you might even have a couple of test smokes. Usually, I'm okay with it. I know whether I like it or not. So, but this really is a great cigar for you cigar smokers out there. If you have not gone out and invested in a Padrón, you need to at least once. Sorry. It's every so often you have to kind of wash everything down. I don't know if y'all can hear what's going on in the background here or not. Maybe I should turn that down. I had it turned down, but I don't know if it's enough. This microphone's pretty sensitive. I don't have anything in particular going today. I do like I've got my entire house is Vizio TVs. I love them. They're relatively inexpensive, but I think for me, they make really great TVs. We've got a 75-incher up in the media room, and then I've got like somewhere between 50 and 60-inch TVs in the living room, out here, and in our bedroom. And I love the Vizio, the platform. When you first turn on the TV, you got all the Vizio free stuff, and they have these channels that it's CGI, AI, whatever you want to call it, images that just kind of fade in and out. Like I always keep it on the Cozy Cafe, and so it's kind of this instrumental kind of jazz coffee music, and then it just every so often it changes pictures from one thing to another. I leave that on during the day when I have to go to the office. Gives Sadie something to listen to. She doesn't watch TV. Desi does. He actually watches basketball games. We were watching some of the NBA playoffs, and he'd just be staring right at the TV watching these guys play basketball. Sadie doesn't care anything about it. But I figure, I know how quiet it is when I'm working from home. And I don't worry about when I'm here, because I'm talking and I talk to them and all that kind of stuff. But, when we're gone all day, I keep something on, Man, I'm already approaching 30 minutes, and I'm just getting started. I'm not even near the half yet. We may be going into extra innings. But I can tell you right now, I'm not going to add to this glass. Nope. This is more than enough. I'm already kind of feeling just a little light, kind of relaxing, don't want to go too far. Went too far the other day and didn't mean to. Whew. Ooh. That has to be probably one of the best bourbons I've ever tried at any price. I may have to invest in one of the regular bottles, try that, and see how it compares to the 114. Because the regular bottles, I'd have to go look and see what the proof is, but I know it's got to be somewhere in the 80 to 95 range. That's just a guess, but that's where most bourbons fall. So, Stick's still producing a really great amount of smoke, as you can see. But even though I straightened it up, hump's still there. So, I guess it's just going to be what it's going to be. But to me, that's the way it is when you're dealing with something natural. You know, it's like cigarettes, they burn like pretty straight, but it's all manufactured. I was reading this I can't even remember what his name was now. I followed him. This guy on X that he's some kind of, I don't know, philosopher, scientist. I don't know what he was. I can't remember now. But anyway, he was saying that, and this is kind of what I've said for a long time. I just didn't have the statistics that he gave out. I can't remember all of them. But he said it was in triple digits, so somewhere over 100 different additives in cigarettes. And there's none of that in cigars. Premium handmade cigars. White Owl or whatever it is you buy at King Edward's, I don't even remember now. But anyway, Grenadiers, all the machine made ones, I don't know about those. But when you're talking about regular cigars, they grow the leaf, they harvest the leaf, they hang the leaf up to dry, or in some cases barrel age it. You know, they're barrel aged cigars. And then they have rollers that roll them. That's it. No additives, no preservatives, no nothing. And he was saying that it's not the nicotine or the tar or whatever in the cigarettes that are so bad for you. In cigarettes, yeah. It's all the stuff they put in them. And there's not that stuff in cigars. And then he went into all this kind of deep psychological stuff as to what cigars do to you, because they're generally enjoyed in a setting. We've got some nice mellow music going. I'm talking to you guys, but like when you're in a cigar shop, you're talking to the people around you, that kind of stuff. It's like a social thing, and it tends to kind of mellow you out and calm you down, and you know, that kind of thing. And it's an experience. And I think he's probably right. I'll let you take a look at those nice stacks. I will say those are pretty razor straight. Nice stacks of kind of whitish gray ash. Nothing beats a good handmade cigar. Wow. I wish you could have seen that. Usually the ash drops in my lap. Just as I took it over my Herf 2-finger, the ash dropped inside. I need to go buy a lottery ticket. Sorry. We are kind of getting to the halfway mark, so I need to kind of pay attention to what I'm doing here. And I love the Herf 2-finger. That's my favorite ashtray. I've got a copper little stinky that has the hand hammered look to it, and I love that ashtray. But I got the Herf 2-finger. I really like it. I can just leave, you know, if I'm done with my cigar, I just leave it in there. Next time I come out here, I go and dump it in the little stinky, and I can smoke 5 or 6, 7 cigars before I have to take it around to the. I've got a little 5-gallon bucket with a trash bag in it, and I dump it in there. And then, you know, every so often I take the trash bag out with the trash. I will say, as we're getting close to the halfway mark here, that the cigar has kind of developed more of a more earthy coffee kind of cocoa notes to it. The heat from the 114 kind of draws out some almost some more like molasses, kind of a deeper sweetness. It does kind of create a little bit more of a kind of a bittersweet intermingling. That's a big word for a country boy. this weekend, this is a Monday, by the way. I am live, This weekend is supposed to be a really great weekend and everything, but we got in the pool on Saturday. Sunday was probably the perfect day for being in the pool. Got up, had breakfast. I was kind of milling around, went to sit down in my chair, and I was hearing a tick, 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 like a sink's dripping. There's water dripping out of the ceiling. Oh, shit. Oh, sorry. Oh, shoot. So I thought the girls' bathroom is right above the living room. I'm like, shh. So I go up there. I feel in the sink's dry. Feel in the bathtub's dry. They both had to be at work at 7. Yeah, I have a 15 and 16-year-old that go to work at 7 o'clock on a Sunday morning. I've taught them well. And they're saving for a car. So, but I'm like, all right, so it's not the drains. It's got to be a feed line. The center of the ceiling in the living room is already soaked. So I'm like, baby, I'm going to cut it open. So I cut a hole in the ceiling. Sure enough, water's dripping out. And we had a flood 4 years ago, Winter Storm Uri. And so we had a lot of work done. And one of the things they did is they blew insulation up there to kind of help with soundproofing between up there and the living room. Because the girls, back and forth, shutting doors, all that kind of stuff up there. You know how girls are with bathrooms. And didn't mean that to be sexist, but, the truth is, I have poodles. So my 2 daughters are poodles. You take them on a long trip in a car, you're stopping every 20 minutes. I got to pee. But anyway, so I had to tear some of that out, and I could see the fill line for the sink in their bathroom. That's where the drip was coming from. So I called my brother-in-law. He's a plumber. He sent one of his guys out, and we go, and we're fortunate that behind the sink on the other side of the wall, it's just a landing area up there at the stairs. And so we could cut the hole right there, and he cut it, and he's like, dude, this ain't coming from the water line. It's coming from the attic. Oh, shit. So I go upstairs. It's actually HVAC issue. My furnace, and I can't tell you all the particulars about how those things work, but where the air comes in, passes through the furnace, and then I guess it goes into, I don't know what you call it, the air handler, whatever. That's where the coils are that cools the air as the air passes through it and it goes throughout the house. Or in this case, the downstairs, we have three heating and air units. That part of it and the furnace part of it had become disconnected. And so we were just blowing air into the attic. So now of course, today's Memorial Day. So fortunately, it's cooled off. It was 90 something yesterday. It's only like 80 today. So I'm going to have to call the heating and air guy and say, hey, this heater that you put in back during Winter Storm Uri, it came apart. It works fine, but I need you to come put it back together. So got to deal with that. But anyway, that basically shot yesterday. So now today, I got the day, and it's cloudy, and it's about 80 degrees, and the pool's about 79 degrees, which it needs to be about 83 or 84 to be comfortable for swimming. If you live in the North Atlantic, Massachusetts or England or somewhere like that, maybe you swim when it's like 65 degrees. Here in North Texas, the water's got to be about 85, 83, 84, something like that. So man, I can't. It's been a long time since I've had a 64, and I have forgotten how much I liked them. It makes me want to buy a box, but I can't do that. And you can go to your tobacco shop. I actually I picked this one up at one of the chain package stores. one of the big ones. They have a humidor. It's not the best, but you know, I was in a hurry, didn't have time to go by a tobacco shop. And I can tell you, the cigars, the pepper and that kind of dark fruit, the cherries, blackberries kind of thing, it really elevates the oak and the spice off of the OGD, particularly in the finish. Try to look up so I'm not, you're not just looking at the top of my Stetson. But the retro is particularly interesting. It's probably a lot more robust than most of the other cigars I've ever tried. But I will say it doesn't go as far as, like, I pair, probably one of my best pairings ever was a Rocky Patel 60, Sixty, not the number, and the Dalmore 12-year-old. And what that kind of brought together was almost like chocolate covered cherries, kind of that, the cherry and the sweet stuff. Not quite that far, but it does give you kind of this kind of cherry, just getting their profile. I mean, I really do love it. It is a great cigar and a great spirit. But I'm telling you, I keep saying this. I keep saying this, and I'm being very, very serious. Don't just jump out and try this. If you're new, put the training wheels on first. Don't just jump out on this one. Yeah. We're thinking about going to the movies around 3 o'clock, and I'm like, yeah, there's no way I could do this for much longer. I probably need to go in and take a nap now. And eating something might be good. I hadn't had anything since breakfast. So, well, breakfast was, what is it? It's 1:30. I ate breakfast around. I don't know. I did because I took one of the girls to work this morning. She had to be there at 8. I got back home. It wasn't shortly after that I had breakfast. So around 9:30. Yeah, it's been a little while. But if we're going to the movies, I really love going to Studio Movie Grill, where I can order an entire meal and a adult milkshake, the Bailey's Kahlua something. They just call it the adult milkshake. It's really good, but you can't eat much during the day. You gotta bank those calories for the night. So I don't know. We'll see, because we're going at 3. I'll probably come home tonight and fix steaks. Now, as far as this pairing is concerned, the both together, they offer these layers of flavors that do kind of tend to evolve a little bit over the course of the smoke, but they are balanced. The the sweetness and the richness in the tobacco really marry well with the heat coming off the bourbon. And these two kind of spar back and forth, but one of them never completely overpowers the other. So you are getting a really, really great balanced smoke and drink. And it's really great. Sit out here and turn on Cozy Cafe, have a smoke, a little glass, and really makes for a great day. So, yeah, I would definitely recommend this. Like I said, you're not. Some guys will indulge in buying a box of Padrons and want to smoke them every day, but this is really just kind of a great every so often. Yeah, I need a day to chill on the back porch watching some Cozy Cafe. You know, I think you will be very impressed with the way these interact together, and they kind of spar back and forth and kind of, you know, dance together without one dominating the other. I'm going to go ahead and finish the cigar, but I'm going to let you folks go because it's been 45 minutes, and I know y'all got things to do. So I appreciate all of you tuning in. Hey, for those of you here in the U.S., Freedom Fatigues. Freedom Fatigues. FreedomFatigues.com. FREEDOM. Fatigues. FATIGUES. One word.com. Love this shirt. I've got 3 or 4 different shirts from Freedom Fatigues. I got a couple of hats from Freedom Fatigues. Veteran-owned business. It's Memorial Day. You know, we honor the ones that were lost, but we also have to remember to support the ones that are still here. You know, the kind of the saying is, all veterans, they give their lives in defense of the country. Some of them just give it all at once, and others give it to them over a lifetime. If you go to Freedom Fatigues and you find you some cool wear you'd like to have, at checkout, use Sticks-n-Stonez 20, STICKSNSTONEZ 20. Get 20% off. Can't beat it, man. Can't beat it. 4th of July is coming up. You definitely need something like this to wear at your 4th of July party. People will love it. They want to know where you got it. Go to Freedom Fatigues. Go to Freedom Fatigues. Veteran-owned business, and also LEO, law enforcement-owned business. Go support those guys. Use the discount code. Get yourself 20% off. Can't beat it. But till we get to be together again, keep your sticks dry, stones cold. Have a great day.